Pen Made Mightier without wood.
Welcome back to Pen Made Mightier. This week, we're going to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel's show that's going on ABC, and quite frankly, I couldn't love it any more than I already do. Particularly, we're going to focus on some really good writing that happened with Fitz Simmons in the second season that builds off what happened in the first season. So first, let's talk about what made the first season so enjoyable. In the first season, Fitz and Simmons were really one character, even referred to as Fitz Simmons. They were background characters, supplementary to the main storyline, which focused around Maze and Ward and Skye and Agent Coulson, who were kind of the main four of the show. But that kind of had to change at the end of the first season. If you haven't seen the show, yeah, you may want to heed the stamp. So, while in the first season, Fitz and Simmons were this solid rock, a foundation for the rest of the team, a little bit of comic relief to lighten up their drama, in the second season they become more center stage. And they do this because certain characters have to take a background role. A lot of Agent May's drama is tied up with a bow, and so she isn't in the center of the stage for a bit. Agent Coulson is compromised. You can't really rely on him as a character for a minute. They have to give him time to ruminate in his damaged state so that he can be more interesting later on. Agent Ward has defected and as such is dealing more with Hydra and less with the good guys being trapped and all that. And even Skye herself, her plotline is finished for the time being, meaning that we're out of characters to stand in the forefront while everybody is engaging in their epilogue. But Fitz and Simmons are different. Fitz and Simmons split. At the end of the first season, Agent Fitz and Agent Simmons are cast into the sea by Ward in an attempt to murder two of America's favorite agents. They sink to the bottom of the ocean, and there they realize that only one of them can make it out of this alive. Heroically, Fitz sacrifices himself so that Simmons can live. And in a miraculous twist, Agent Fury is there to pull him from the wreckage. He is not undamaged, though, and this creates the fracture that ends up being the core of the drama that drives these two in the second season. And this is the beauty of it. The foundation, that rock-hard, unbreakable safety net that the team had, destroyed. And that makes us feel uneasy. It shows us in the very foundation of the organization the fractured state of S.H.I.E.L.D. and allows us to ruminate in that. It's really well done. Beyond that though, Fitz and Simmons in their separation, it exposes their emotional state, allowing them to come forward and be the center of the drama. Agent Fitz is emotionally compromised and physically damaged as he deals with the mental trauma that came with being deprived from oxygen for too long. He ends up imagining that Simmons is there when she's not. And in that, you see a bit of the tenderness that he'd kind of been holding back on, being a shy, nerdy type that I'm sure all the girls just love. Simmons, on the other hand, has joined Hydra, and that throws everybody for a loop. But soon revealed she is playing double agent. Beyond that, her emotions are exposed too. Why? Because she's in a terrifying situation where you're sitting there amidst the lions, trying to not show your cards, trying to keep yourself hidden, and with all that pressure pushes in on something, they're gonna boil over. And that's what you get to see Simmons in, sort of a pressure cooker. Not to mention the fact that she only left S.H.I.E.L.D. in the first place because she couldn't quite handle the fact that her best friend had been hurt so grievously to save her life. The tragedy that has happened to Fitz lends weight and credence to Ward's crimes, making them feel more impactful. Too often, shows will say, "Ah, but good guy is actually a bad guy, ha-ha!" But then they don't actually make him do anything bad. They just sort of make him screw with the guys for a little bit, and then he's bad in name only, sitting in the background but never committing any real acts because they don't want to piss off any members of the fan base who happen to really love character A and think he's a good guy at heart. But no, Ward tries to flat out murder two of our favorite characters, and while he doesn't actually succeed, he does damage them to the state that it pushes them to the brink. And you definitely see the repercussions of that over the course of season 2. Oh my god! Oh my god. Simmons, on the other hand, in her underground espionage mission, helps to develop Hydra. Because of her actions, we get to see Hydra a bit more fleshed out, which we wouldn't have got to see otherwise because they're a secretive spy organization. So instead of giving us a new character in the Hydra team to empathize with who could turn tracks later and join up with S.H.I.E.L.D., instead they show us one of our good guys playing the double agent, which is good because they're spies. Just made perfect sense. It develops their covert ops and S.H.I.E.L.D., it develops Hydra and what they do in the day-to-day. It's perfect, and all under the guise of developing this character, wrapping drama with the need to develop shadowy organizations in a wonderful, wonderful collage. This creates drama. It destabilizes the group, and in a long-running series like this, you need to destabilize the group from time to time to create new drama. This does it perfectly. And I think that there are tons of shows out there who have been too stable for too long and need major events to destabilize things, to shake it up so that the characters don't grow too routine. And a lot of shows try this, they make some big event, but then they undo it 6 months later. Think of like Family Guy. I know it's not a perfect example, but go with me on this. They realized the show was getting stale. The characters acted the same way every single week, and people were dropping off the face of the earth, myself included. So what did they decide to do? Well, they decided to kill Brian. In killing Brian, it will force everybody to act a little bit different. You can have a big emotional episode, and you can disrupt things and change things and make people act different. Then they undid it all, because change is scary. Holy crap, let's not commit to anything, because, and lazy. It's just lazy. Shows should stop being afraid to change. Yeah, the fans will rebel, and you know what? They'll get the hell over it. Look at shows like Breaking Bad, or even Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones isn't a perfect example or anything, but there you go. At least those shows have the balls to change and destabilize groups to keep anything from ever being too samey. I never watched an episode of Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul and think, yep, same as every season. No, you don't get that, because you don't get time to. And I think more shows should really do that. So, if you see in your writing that your characters are getting a little bit too samey or just being plain boring, destabilize the group. You don't have to kill anybody to do it. You can send them off to join the bad guys. You can have them have a change of heart and decide to quit the line of work altogether and only go to them in times of peace. There's thousands of ways to stabilize the group, but destabilize it so that you keep your characters fresh. Thanks for joining me this week on Pen Made Mightier. I'll speak with you again soon. Bye.